Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Election 2023. My name is Jesus Salazar. I am the host of this show. Our next guest is a young lady by the name of Renita Ward, who's running for Alderperson in the 5th Ward. Now, the 5th Ward has an alderman that has retired. Her name is Leslie Hairston. So it's an open field, an open ward, where you got several contenders vying for that position. We're going to be speaking to Renita, but let me remind the viewers that this is a call-in show. If you would like to call in to ask a question, make a comment, please call us at 312, I forgot my phone number. It's 312, well, we'll put it on the screen because I don't have that note. Ms. Renita Ward, would you please introduce yourself to the viewers and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me here tonight. My name is Attorney Renita Q. Ward. I live in the Hyde Park community. As was mentioned, I am seeking to be the next 5th Ward Alderperson. I currently practice as a healthcare attorney at one of the local hospitals and serve as a minister at one of the local churches in Washington Park. I really feel I'm uniquely qualified for this opportunity, not just because of my professional capabilities and having worked and served in the community as an attorney, but I have a lens towards the people and a compassionate way of making decisions, even when they're tough ones.
Okay. Now for the viewers, I found my note for the live call-in number. It's area code 312-738-1845. Again, 312-738-1845. Now, Ms. Ward, tell the viewers why you got interested in running for this position.
So I have spent a lot of time in the community. I clerked over at the criminal courthouse, so it gave me kind of a bird's eye view into some of the challenges that people are facing in the community when they intersect with the criminal justice system. I also spent quite a few hours as a pro bono attorney working at the Trinity United Church of Christ Legal Clinic, and that's really helping folks come in with their everyday issues, everything from trying to get a security deposit back to trying to save a home from foreclosure, or maybe even trying to stave off an eviction. And so between those various roles, I began to see that people are really hurting, particularly in our ward. They're looking for someone who can listen and someone who can respond, and then someone who can ultimately advocate for their needs. And I feel like I am that person for them. I decided to raise my hand when I saw that that seat was open, because I know that there is time for a change in the way that we run the city.
Okay. Can you briefly tell us what the boundaries are for the 5th Ward?
Certainly. Primarily, if you're looking at Hyde Park Boulevard, 51st, all the way down to 71st primarily, but there's a little pocket on 75th from South Shore, Lakeshore Drive, all the way over to Cottage Grove. That's Hyde Park, that's Indian Village, that's Greater Grand Crossing, that's South Shore community.
Now, so you've been canvassing, you've been knocking on door-to-doors, you've been talking to residents of the various communities within that ward. What have you been hearing from them? What are the top issues facing that ward?
People want to be safe. You know, that people want to be able to walk their dogs. They want to be able to go to the grocery store. Even if they're not their children, they want to be able to have kids play safely outside. The increase in crime and just the feeling that anything could happen, crime-related, unexpected, I think has creeped into most of the communities and most of the homes. People are looking for economic development, and they want that to be equal, not just in one part of the ward, but across the ward. That's the south and the north part of our ward. And so people want to close that gap between the haves and the have-nots.
Okay. And in the 5th Ward, there's 11 people vying for that one spot. What's the difference between you and those 11 people as to why the voters should vote for you and not the other 10 people that are running for that position?
I'm more than capability. You know, I'm compassion too. I think we are at a unique time, and we're going to be faced with some unique decisions that have to be made. Some of those may be tough decisions as it relates to how much people are paid, if the housing market is affordable, if a school will stay open or if a school will stay closed. And I'm capable of making those decisions, having practiced as an attorney, but I can do it with a compassionate view towards people and understand that it's not about pulling a lever or having the experience and the relationships to kind of navigate and broker something, but it's about remembering at the end of the day, there's a person on the end of that decision, and it has to be made thoughtfully.
Now, you mentioned public safety is an issue and economic development is also another issue in your ward. how do you plan on dealing with those two issues?
Well, you mentioned door to door, you mentioned being about in the community, and I think it has to start with the people. You have to have a relationship with the folks who've been doing the work. Some of the things that are happening in South Shore in particular, even we have the University of Chicago in our community. There are some long stretching relationships there, and I think I need to come up alongside those individuals and those organizations and work with them as we craft new ideas.
And with respect to economic development?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That
Economic development. So I can get a little bit more
Sure,
specific.
go
When we come to TIF dollars or even the expenditure of some grants in our neighborhood, I've heard the community say, we want it to be participatory. We want to have community engagement. I think that that's chiefly important to make space for community engagement, but it's more than a conversation. It actually results to the decisions that are made on the end.
Okay. Now, if you are elected, what is the first thing you would do as the alderperson of the Fifth Ward?
First thing I have to do is level set. I'm going to be in the council with some new peers. As you well know, we have a whole new class of folks coming in, and I think to get things done effectively in the Fifth Ward, have to have those relationships across the boundaries and working with my council people, and obviously want to be able to level set with the leader of the city, determining who the citizens of Chicago select. So my very first order of business is to make sure we're stable and ready to go.
Now, there's 9 individuals running for mayor of the city of Chicago, and I know you probably want to stay neutral because you got your own race to run, and you're concentrating on your own race. Will you be able to work with any of the 9 candidates if they're elected as mayor?
I think I have to say yes, because my responsibility for representing the 55,000 or 50,000 or so residents of the Fifth Ward who are going to elect me as their representative in City Hall as their Fifth Ward alderperson, I need to be able to work with my peers and colleagues, but also with whom they select as the leader. I love the org chart of the City of Chicago. It has the citizens of Chicago at the top. It has the mayor, it has the city council, etc. And so part of my job description is not just working with other councilmen, but working effectively with the mayor of the City of Chicago.
Okay, yeah, because currently in the past council, as you know, there were some members that were fighting with the mayor, and pretty much very little was being done in their wards because they were fighting with the aldermen. For example, we just had a candidate that was here from the 25th Ward, where the incumbent has been fighting with the mayor, and nothing's been done in the ward as a result of that. Nothing's been accomplished. So I'm glad to hear that. Now, you are aware that also for the first time we're electing council members for the City of Chicago Police Department Commission. Now, what's your role? What do you think your role is going to be working with those individuals?
Well, I think you nailed it. I'm going to be working with those individuals. One thing the people of Chicago have spoken, the citizens of Chicago have spoken, that's why we have those council people coming along. Their role is to be the voice of the people, and my role in another segment is to also be the voice of the people. And so level set is what I'm talking about, is really getting in as they craft what does it look like, because it's going to be new. What does it look like? I want to be there lockstep as they determine what it looks like, and to be collaborative with them, and then take that information right back to the people that I represent.
What else would you like the viewers to know that I haven't asked you? Is there anything else you would like to let the viewers know?
I want them to know that youth is very important to me. Our kids are our future as it relates to education, as it relates to job opportunities, as it relates to the reduction of crime, because we see the youth kind of percolating in that space. I'm committed to focusing on our kids with CPS, with those local organizations that are focused on apprenticeship programs, on jobs in the summer for our youth. I am committed to government efficiency. When you call my office, you will be able to reach someone, or if you leave a message, you can expect to hear back from us. You can expect me to take advantage of technology. When I'm communicating with you, you'll hear regular community updates, but also this person-in-person that we have the privilege of doing right now. And then, of course, economic development and stability. We have the Obama Foundation and library coming on board. But we also just learned even here today that the point on the lakeshore is going to be reserved as a landmark. And so you can count on me to be working with those organizations that are pushing forward various initiatives as it relates to environment in our ward. So a holistic approach. I like to say that we're moving forward together. I can't always move as fast as you want when you're moving forward together, but you can get some great stuff done. And I like to say when I go to City Hall, you go, which means that your voice goes. I see you, I hear you, and I look forward to representing you.
We're running short time, but let me ask you, look at that camera in front of you and firmly tell the voters of the 5th Ward why they should select you as the next alderperson.
5th Ward, Renita Q Ward, Punch 51. I'm asking you to elect me as your 5th Ward alderperson because I am most capable as a practicing attorney. 5th Ward, Renita Q Ward, because I'm a compassionate leader. Renita Q Ward, Punch 51 on February 28th, and also early voting. Go ahead and cast for Renita Ward.
And let me just ask you, tell the viewers where they can contact you if they would like to volunteer on your campaign.
Thank you. www.electrenitaward.com. Again, that's www.electrenitaward.com.
Thank you very much for being with us this evening.
Thank you so much. Great pleasure.